We have an update on whether or not the PlayStation 5 will be revealed at E3. Hint, hint, I think you can guess where we're going with this one. There is a ton of new Days Gone gameplay out right now. 40 minutes coming from the guys over at Game Informer. There will be a link to that in the description box, and I'll give you guys a brief overview on what you can expect on that. And then we also have an update on Kingdom Hearts 3 as well as Square Enix's game plan for the rest of the year. More on that at the end of this video. First, yesterday we talked about Sony's E3 2018 plans. We already know that they're primarily going to be focusing on 4 exclusives. Those games include Marvel's Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch, you've got Kojima's Death Stranding, and then of course The Last of Us Part 2 by Naughty Dog. There have been some rumblings on whether or not a PlayStation 5 is scheduled for a release in the near future. However, E3 will not be the platform where Sony will be unveiling a PS5. This is what Sean Layden had to say about a possible PlayStation 5. Quote, "It's going to be a very strong centerpiece to all of those 4 titles we were just talking about," and then he continued on the PlayStation blogcast saying that there are no plans for new hardware announcements at E3 this year. Instead, the focus for this year's showcase very much is on the 4 titles that I just mentioned. So specifically, he said no new hardware. So if you're expecting something, I don't know, like a PlayStation Vita 2 for the 4 of you that are wanting that, I don't think you're getting that either. Not to hate on the PlayStation Vita, I actually bought one at launch and absolutely loved it. But yeah, I don't think Sony is ready to jump on that train yet again anytime soon. And as far as the PlayStation 5 goes, I still think it's way too soon for that console. We got the PlayStation 4 Pro in 2016. 2018 is packed with exclusives, as is 2019. So what is the point on jumping the gun and revealing the PS5 right now? A lot of you guys mentioned yesterday, however, and I definitely agree with this notion, is that why the reason Sony is primarily focusing on 4 games that are already announced, just showing more gameplay on those, is that it's probable that a lot of other studios are actually working on PlayStation 5 games early on in production, but that is definitely possible. Personally, I would really love to see what Guerrilla Games is working on, but that could be a PS5 title, and we probably won't be seeing that at E3 2018, and we won't be seeing a PlayStation 5. I don't think that really shocks too many of us, but if you're still holding out hope, well, now you know, no PS5 at E3 2018. Now, I just mentioned 4 games that are going to be a gigantic fixture of E3 2018, but one game that was evidently missing from that lineup is Days Gone. Well, Game Informer has actually had a huge exclusive on Days Gone. They actually uploaded the first hour of gameplay, and then earlier they returned with 40 more minutes of Days Gone gameplay. Definitely check it out, it's really exciting, and with this 40 minutes of gameplay, they pick up right where they left off with that hour. The gameplay itself shows what happens after players leave Copeland's camp, and they've got a packed house with developers joining in the discussion. And there's a lot to take in: exploration, clearing out a couple of smaller camps, and plenty of the infected. Definitely give that gameplay a look. It looks like Days Gone is gaining a lot of hype recently with all of the gameplay that's coming out. I mentioned earlier that Days Gone was one of those titles that, yes, some people were looking forward to it as a PlayStation 4 exclusive, but again, when you look at the top anticipated exclusives in games like Last of Us Part 2, Marvel's Spider-Man, it really did seem like Days Gone was a threshold below that. But after Game Informer has done this exclusive, it really seems like Days Gone has stepped up a notch. I don't know if it's quite at the anticipation level of a Spider-Man or of a Last of Us Part 2, but considering this is a new IP by Sony Bend Studios and this is their first AAA game in a very long time, I think the anticipation is right where it needs to be for Days Gone. Again, originally scheduled for a 2018 release, it will not be coming until 2019. I would imagine that it will be coming early 2019. And finally, let's talk a little bit about Square Enix, who they will also be a big fixture at E3. They're having their own conference, and a big talking point for them is obviously Kingdom Hearts 3, and I've been going back and forth on whether or not this game is actually going to be released in 2018. Well, they have reiterated yet again that Kingdom Hearts 3 is scheduled for a 2018 release. They shared their financial results, and Kingdom Hearts 3 was also once again listed to be launched in 2018. They also had Shadow of the Tomb Raider there. That's of course launching on September 14th, and then Octopath Traveler, the Nintendo Switch title, will be launching on July 13th. You can directly see Kingdom Hearts 3. That is going to be launched in 2018. If we don't get a release date announcement at E3 2018, I do not think this game is going to be released in 2018. And with Square Enix, you always have to proceed with caution. If you are completely sold this game is launching in 2018 and there will not be any more delays, remember the fact that Square Enix held an event to announce the Final Fantasy 15 release date, a gigantic event at that, and then they ended up delaying the game anyway. It still hit that 2016 year window, but they delayed the game by 2 months. With Square Enix and these big budget projects, I would not put anything past them, especially when it comes to their Japanese games. So yes, it's listed for 2018. I do believe at this point it will be coming in 2018, but I just don't want to get my hopes up too much to be disappointed yet again. Outside of that, Square Enix has also shared their other plans for the rest of the current fiscal year, which ends on March 31st, 2019, and it says this, quote, expand our IP portfolio through major releases of existing and new IPs and further improve profitability by digital sales. They expect an increase in revenue in fiscal year 2019 thanks to the launches of multiple blockbuster and mid-sized titles. So what could those be? Who knows? We do know that Octopath Traveler, brand new IP, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is going to be a big title. Kingdom Hearts 3, if it is released in 2018, and now I am being sold a little bit more to the fact that coming this year, Square Enix is looking to have a pretty packed year, and we still don't know what's coming at E3. Expect a lot of big announcements by them then, and of course we should see Shadow of the Tomb Raider gameplay then as well. That is going to conclude this video. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think about the lack of a PlayStation 5 at E3? Are you disappointed, or are you completely okay with your PS4 or PS4 Pro at this point? I know that I'm still readily satisfied with the PS4 and its exclusive game offerings. I think the majority of you are too, but differing opinions are always welcome. As I mentioned, there's 40 minutes of new Days Gone gameplay. Link to that in the description box down below. You can check it out on Game Informer's website. Again, there's developer commentary and a lot of insight into the game itself. And let us know, do you think Kingdom Hearts 3 will actually be launched in 2018, or are you like me and are still proceeding with some skepticism? Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.